What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Apologies for the slight delay, few technical issues, red candles everywhere. How are you doing? And we have a very, very interesting live stream today, guys. And you all know what's going on. It feels like the Russian Revolution of 1919. There's bloodbath everywhere, and people are absolutely shitting it. And hence, I'm not watching any football. Been watching charts, been watching projects, and we're gonna survive together. However, we have to have some home truth, guys. Up till now, things have been pretty shit. If you say this bull market for many people hasn't brought any joy, but that's all about to change because we are gonna be doing some not technical analysis. Hopefully, the guys will join me, but I think there was something that I shared with you, a couple of things I shared with you last week. And in terms of being concerned, am I concerned from here? I mean, where could we go? We've been lower. We've been lower, guys. And Marvia right now, Zilla is saying is down to $1. But there was an interesting chart we looked at last week, and I talked about this chart on the 2 days and on the 5 days. Back in and this is something that obviously we'll use moving forward, but if you see here, back on the 29th of July, this chart flipped red on the 2 days. Now obviously you're looking at this, but this is a lagging leading indicator to the 5 day. So where this pain is happening right now, and this has always been there or thereabouts correct. What are the concern? Let me give you the bad bits first. The longer we stay, this hasn't flipped red yet on the 5 days. The longer we stay in this red phase, right, between here, this was back on March 22. You can see here all the way, it literally flipped green after 410 days, right? Which actually kind of gives you a slightly prolonged vision of the thing. But I'm also going to give you the other side of the coin of reasons why to be optimistic, because in the past, this very same indicator has flipped red for a much shorter time. And if you look over here, right, this is back all the way back in 2016. If you look over here, and it's done that many, many times before, it flipped red, and this was a 20 bar, 100-day kind of a red over here, but you can see the indicator was also flashing for the upward turn of the market, flipping into green. Now, why am I looking at the 5 day? This is the 5 day. If you go back to the 2 day, we've already been in this for the last, I would say, the last 2 months. You can clearly see it there. Now, what do we do? The question is, what do we do as investors right now? Do we continue to hold the bags? It's too late right now. Right now, no one in their right frame of mind should be thinking about selling, perhaps obviously buying or switching positions. Marvia is down to $1, guys. Zilla said that. Big up yourself, brother. So yeah, we'll get into it. We'll definitely have a look at all our projects, and I'll tell you the reasons why I'm bullish overall. And that factor remains the same feeling in the last cycle. People were capitulating. Now, the only thing that we didn't have in the last cycle, any dips came with a real nightmare because of lack of institutional money. Okay, so historically, if you go back here, and this is what I mean about this indicator, guys, look how accurate it is in predicting that downtrend here, right? So moving forward, I think in terms of future performance, I reckon we're going to be absolutely fine, because there are certain tools that people didn't actually de-risk. They got into the euphoria, the halving came, but this is one of the toughest markets that we've obviously experienced. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at some layer ones as well. I'd like to talk about SUI, get your opinions on reasons why I've actually been just looking at it a bit more in terms of the layer one, the ecosystem. This is the time to identify opportunities, right? This is the time to, there's no better time right now. Imagine the people walking into crypto right now, and they obviously someone fresh off the boat. They've not been here for the last 4 years, and they are just absolutely lucky. So big up yourself. If you're new, you better listen carefully, because from here we're going to give you financial advice, and we're dead certain in doing that. So let's have a look at the gaming, right? There's a few gaming projects that I normally track, and this is their relative performance over the last over the last 1 year. You can see over here the significant performer here is smaller. I mean, let's not look at the micro caps, but if you look at things like games for a living, absolutely dog shit. Echelon Prime did pretty well, $5 right now. But the one I want to first talk about is Marvia. And if you look at Marvia right now, no surprise to you guys, but this is a friggin' opportunity. What happens is you get in, right? And then obviously you go absolutely as far as possible away from your entry level. We're going to talk about taking money out as well. You don't make money if you don't sell these things. The biggest lesson here, guys, in order to de-risk, when this stuff goes 10x, right, to $10, I can't believe I'm saying that. It's actually 10x down from its all-time high. What a life-changing opportunity. And don't even say it's not going to pump. It's just shown you that it's done a 10x. But what you've got to do is you've got to use certain tactics. Like you want to ladder out, maybe with the initial, you want to pull out 10% every time it goes up 100%, right? Yeah, there's no one way of de-risking, guys. But I feel like a lot of the community, if you had ridden some of the, the house money, right? Because crypto is the riskiest asset in all investment. If you're not made for this shit, you could be, I don't know, you could be buying metal, you could be buying gold off the market. You can do so many other things. You could buy a property, get a mortgage. Crypto is a lot more stressful than that, right? So anyway, big up yourselves. Massive opportunity here. And let me just say hello to the community. See what people are saying. Mr. Fuad in the building. What is going on, my brother? I hope you're doing well. I can see the Patriot there. We did some amazing move with Sui yesterday. Of course, it's come back down a bit, but I published an article yesterday just looking at Sui. And Caveman absolutely smashed it. Big up yourself for that, bro. Adam in the building. Mr. B tweets in the building. Let's effing go, bro. And are there any chances that we don't see any bull run this cycle? Absolutely not. I think there is too much money invested into crypto right now. These were the exact same questions in prior cycles. I mean, I didn't obviously do YouTube back then. It was just a normal investor. But just by looking back, the fears were even more magnified. The fears were even more magnified because of the fact that crypto did not have any level of stamp of approval. Crypto was the amount of money in crypto right now and in these protocols is such that we will have a bull run. We'll probably have the biggest bull run there's ever been. I mean, interesting take on some of the more macro analysts, people like Raoul Pal, saying that if we can go from, the current market cap of crypto to 100 trillion in the next 10 years. So not even in the next 10 years, 2030, there's a real possibility that crypto does something quite incredible. And I guess the real concern would be, if you remember the last, the last cycle, around about January 22, after we had that double top, of course, one in April, one in November, and the first one washed out everybody. It literally just took everybody out of, surprise. Bitcoin came back, but the time it came back was a lot shorter. You notice now we've not actually corrected as hard, right? Yet. So I'm just concerned about actually in the short term. It's more about the this downward pressure where we end here. But the worst case scenario for me would be, and I mean, if you look at support, where do we have support right now? Currently, our support area is here, $50,000. There's a massive, that's where I would expect things to, that's going to be where our breaks are. So if we do come down a bit more, we had that wick obviously where everybody thought it's still the cycle low. There is a second wick over here, which is the bottom of that. What was that? $52,000 today. So if we clear that, the only other level where we could actually put the brakes on is literally so 52,000, and then the only other one is going to be over here at $50,000, right? And that's then continuation to the upside. So what you have to remember, guys, whenever we top like we've done here, a lot of the smart money will obviously pull the trigger. Big up to the German government. Everybody was blaming Germany for effing up the mini run that we've had, but all along the Germans were right. When are the Germans ever wrong? Big up yourself, Joe. Man City, aka Man Shitty. Man Shitty in the house. Big up yourself, bro. Hit the like button, people. Joe, what's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. Big up yourself, Steve, DX fam. Steve, one of my brothers right there. In Belton, my sister over there. Everybody, hope you're doing well. Moonlight, what's going on, bro? Hope you're well. Greetings to all of you. I'll get the crew on in a minute as well. What's happening? Hello from Belgium. I hope the market's going to change. Crypto phase. Fourth cycle is over. We need to reset first, able to pack up. So I'm scared as well. I think look, you will not be wrong to be afraid. Now, the moment you sense fear, I think one thing we know, the complacency. So let's look at this top here. We top before the halving. That was a major signal, and sometimes the human greed. And again, I'm including myself in this. Nobody actually knows the direction. There are, of the market. There are bigger forces. There's macroeconomics to contend with. There's central banks involved. There's quantitative tightening, quantitative easing, money printing. But you have to remember one thing: the asset that just got approved as a spot ETF. So for the first time in history, crypto is mainstream. This is not the dark web anymore. This is not 2016, 17, 18, 19, or 2021. It's not even the pandemic, right? Before, people actually thought, I remember people didn't actually even have a way to cash out on their crypto. And the SEC, there was a ton of shit going on to not make it a worthwhile cycle. And I can honestly tell you, like, I'm down heavily on my portfolio, especially my my personal portfolio is shattered, but I'm not concerned. I think in a way it's almost like hindsight is 2020. I expect every single one of us on this live tonight to actually sit back and look at where they've gone wrong, because ultimately the next 12 months determines your financial outcome for this cycle. Okay, are you going to do more de-risking? There's no doubt crypto is going to pump. We've got a US election. In record times, whether you go back, I don't know if there's any historians in the building, but whether you go back to, Nixon and Vietnam, post-Vietnam, Johnson, there's been crazy economic times, but the US election, the money printers come on. And there is no coincidence, the M2 money supply absolutely works with the 4-year election cycle. There's no coincidence. And people actually think, are we really that dumb, guys? If you remember the 2008 financial crisis and everything that proceeded afterwards, and the creation of Bitcoin. There's a bigger hand here. There's going to be trillions of dollars being printed. Central banks all around the world work with each other. This is not just the Fed printing alone. Many economies globally are pegged to the US dollar. All that money supply, right? The US dollar is not backed by gold. So with a 33 trillion debt, things have to be, quantitative easing has to happen. So wait for the rate cuts. We're starting to see some of that bearish, in my opinion, some of that bearish run before the rate cuts and into the rate cuts. I mean, that's what, 2 weeks away. And this is, I've always said that money, when they turn on the money printer, you don't immediately see, especially on risk assets, you don't see it straight away. And these are all lessons that every single one of us will take it into future cycles. I would honestly say we are being too short-sighted as a community, because for many of you here, you should really be thinking long-term. This cycle plus the next cycle, the next bear market. There's so many things to plan for now. I had an interesting exchange with somebody today where I talked about SUI a little bit, because I saw, the community knows, especially my crew in the Discord know, I've always talked about SUI. I've always talked about CETAs, Navi protocol, and somebody was saying, look, we're gonna be exit liquidity for something like this. Yeah, this is a multi-cycle play. If any of you don't actually have a multi-cycle list of cryptocurrencies, it really is a problem. But I guess going back to your question, it's okay to be scared, because you're not feeling right now, you're not feeling euphoric, which is where you need to be. Like, that's the signal to sell. When you have projects like this being presented 10x down, right? So if you put $1,000 into this in these prices in a very short space of time, even into the February unlock, you'll have 10 times your money. What if you had 10 grand in this? You can flip that into 100 grand. You just need a 10x, right? Most people don't realize that first multiple X's is going to erase every single memory. That's why crypto is that's why many scammers survive in crypto, because people suffer from Stockholm syndrome, right? They don't remember anything bad that happened. There's so many well-respected characters right now in crypto who've all got like skeletons and made big losses for their communities, all types of stuff. So yeah, very good to kind of answer that question, John, because that lies at the heart of everything that we do. When I see that type of sentiment, that's the time I move USDT into the exchanges. This is the time that I'm most happiest, when that fear is palpable. Absolutely. Like, one of the things about Patriot, and big up yourself, bro, but one of the things about this guy, that Patriot, that legend, he's been through the cycle. He's been through the mill, and I think that's why he's so calm in terms of the overall perspective on the market. Big up yourself, Rab. What's going on, brother? Hey, Diamond Hands, what's happening, bro? The community's in the building in full force. El Draco in the building. What's going on, family? Hope you're well. Hope the family is well. Let's go. I have 5,000 limit order on ALF at 125. Manzilla. Let's have a look at ALF, because in terms of layer ones, and you know what's funny? I just read, before I came through, I quickly sneaked in the Discord, and somebody was saying how human psychology works, because last week or a few days ago, in fact 3 days ago, our discussion internally was how we were going to buy Alephium under the $2. and this is like plenty of time to DCA. $1.50. It was as low as dollar. I think it went to $1.40 something. And I think this is going to be Alephium now features on many whales kind of list of cryptocurrencies. But here are kind of 4 or 5 layer ones: Casper, Sui, Say, Alephium, and Tectum. Now let's talk layer ones for a minute, right? Let's talk layer ones for a minute, because I think sometimes people, and again, I did a video yesterday just saying, get yourself the best opportunity to make money in the cycle by building a portfolio that contains, at least one large cap. And that kind of sparked the debate, and people were saying, is ALF not a core? If you had a look at that list, in all honesty, right? And I'm gonna do this by market cap. So it's ranked by market cap. You can see that. So let's have a look at this list. Why are you bullish on Alephium? If I ask anybody, normally they're obviously everyone's talking about the tech and everything else. Single-handedly, if you look at that list, there are 2 projects there at the bottom: Tectum and Alephium. Okay, and of course, then a halfway house there, which is something like a Say, all right, not the V2, but Say. But if you had some money today and you couldn't afford Casper or Sui, where do you think the most value lies? And people don't understand when you see like big channels like, for example, Crypto Banter. Kyle Chasse talked about this. Alephium is not like an obscure project where you're looking at, big money's not looking at it. They've actually got some VC money. There was a pre-mine. But if you go back to July, when they had the last major unlock, which was about 3.5 million tokens, ALF was like it didn't really dump in price, right? And then consider the mining aspect of it. So if I was looking at, as an investor today, I came into crypto or whatever, and I was looking at risk to reward ratio here, I would bet on that horse right there. 131 million, highly recognized. You can see it's already done 7x for the year. 7x at 131 million. Could we get this to 5 billion? And I always show you guys, and again, I should be a Casper Maxi. I've done more for the Casper community than most people. I used to spit alpha about Casper all of 2023 and even back into 2022. But let's have a look at the opportunity. You're in the market for a decent layer one, and you're looking at ways to make money in this cycle, and you're thinking, okay, some projects are already at $3 billion like Casper, which is my biggest layer one in terms of market cap, right? How the hell are you not going to risk for 20x to where Casper is right now? 26 or 27x, 26.93, right? So this is what I talk about, and that's why it's a conviction play for me. 100%. I believe in the ecosystem. I believe in the upside potential, but most importantly, people don't understand when I talk about what can rip to the during a bull cycle. And I think a project that is 27 times less than that of the bear market price of Casper, which is $3.5 billion, I'd bet on that horse any day, right? Sui, let's talk about Sui. So Sui was another one. And again, people misunderstand the tokenomics of Sui. Sui is 27% circulating right now, or 26%, I can't remember. There's a 10% inflation to the top of the bull market, okay? The Sui ecosystem looks, for me anyway, it reminds me of Solana. So it's nearly 2x lower than CAS. Okay, 2x. Again, CAS is a unique technology. Bloodbath, best cryptocurrency of the bear market so far. Although that title went to quant because Quant was the stable coin of the cryptocurrency market. So, $1.86 CAS SUI is to the all-time high of Casper. So you can already see where it is right now, 2.17 billion, which was its all-time high, to 5 billion or 4.9 billion where Casper was. Definitely there's an upside potential there. And when you see what they are developing, I'm just trying to, this is not financial advice, but this is SUI play. I talked about it with the community today or yesterday, I can't remember when, but you can actually pre-order a handheld gaming device for Web3 gaming. Now, when you consider the speed of transaction of SUI, and you consider the fact that they are launching a handheld Web3 device, and you see the price performance, then you start to think to yourself, Solana in 2021, Solana phone recently. You do what you have to do, but I'm telling you now, the market is full of opportunities, and this has some incredible gaming projects like this society game that's going to be shipping with it, right? There's another gaming project as well that's going to be on this device. So we are lucky enough to be where we are in the market right now. And what's the other game? Let me show you the other game. So when you think of SUI, don't just think about the layer one. The layer one is 2 times less the value of Casper right now, and those are facts. But when you see what this thing is, and you start to realize that they've got the SUI ID. So for most of you who've never used a SUI wallet, you can just use it. It's a web wallet, right? You can just use it with your Gmail. But this device, you got to look at the fact that it's 2 times less than the price of CAS, and it's going to ship with that game. Look, and they've got so much money. There's a SUI Foundation, Solana Foundation. That's where I was coming across. It's not just the fact that I've known SUI since 2022. I waited for the NFT. I farmed the airdrop. They canceled the airdrop. There was no airdrop. So going back to my point, the blessing that we have right now is we can sit back and relax and really, really start to configure our portfolio where it's the best in class in terms of like degen plays, or what you consider to be smaller market caps. In this case, you've got Tectum, Alephium, you got potentially Say there with a V2, you've got SUI. And check this out, guys. If you feel like the layer one is too big for you, right? What you do is you check the ecosystem. So if I just go, we want to help each other. We don't want to sell each other projects. I'm in no way, shape, or form big enough to be affiliated to SUI. I couldn't give a damn about SUI, but the ecosystem here. How can I get this? Let's go. SUI ecosystem. I mean, I've had this forever, but for some of you, you look up Aerodrome Finance, and then you're thinking to yourself, okay, what's the equivalent in SUI? So you've got, for example, you've got projects like CETAS Protocol. CETAS is right now a $10 million, $15 million market cap project. So if SUI is going to go to $50 billion, do you think this could go to $1.5 billion as the main DEX for SUI and Aptos? 100%. you got to consider this. This DEX right here, and again, this is not financial advice at all. Most people here are part of the community. They know my standing, the fact that I own a little bit of CETAS. So yeah, it's these are bets right now, but if you launch the app here, this thing is both just read about it. Read about the ecosystem. Don't limit yourself. Don't do things because of your favorite influencer. You know what? Screw your favorite influencer. Take the information and check it out factually. But all I would say is this thing here is getting me excited because it's the first time in history where you will have Web3 gaming in a hardware device. All right. So yeah, enough of that. But I think it's super interesting anyway. So going back to these layer ones, I would say, if you don't want to play around anything, if you've been told, if the industry's conditioned you not to look at a large cap cryptocurrency, because everybody wants you to buy that sub 10 million degen that will go to zero, then that's a risk for you to take. But you don't have to do that. I've got a project here called Alephium. There's one here, 498 ranked, called Tectum, right? What is it? $47 million in market cap, $6 in price. Plenty of ways to make money in this cycle. We just have to be objective about it. What's going on, Raphael? I hope you're doing well, bro. Every time I open my portfolio, don't open it. Honestly, guys, I've not checked. I mean, I know I'm down significantly because of the there was a news that came out as well today that VanEck have canceled the ETH ETF, and it's a tough time, bro. But honestly, all I would say is what gets me excited. I'm actually a lot more happier in the bear market or in the dips than I am actually when everything is pumping, because of complacency, right? The opposite will the greed will kick in, right? So yeah, man, I'm with you, bro. But don't check it. $3,000 on a Mavia one, man. You genius. You times 5,000 on TET at $5. You've literally closed the bags. Salam, bro. Want to buy Mavia around 70 cents? Alf 90 cents. Yeah, look, Hamza, it's a very good point that you're making, but I think it's incredibly risky. I would DCA. There's no, you could wait for, and again, these prices, we've seen a little bit of prices that when, it went under $1 and it got bought back in straight away. But Mavia would be absolutely impossible, in my opinion, to do that. I think that would be epic buy. I'd put the house on it. So if you look at Mavia, so let's have a look. A lot of the VCs are out, which is brilliant, because some of them wanted to do all the unlocks here quite quickly. But let me show you something on Mavia. For those of you that actually want a 70 cents Mavia, you're leaving yourselves to a massive risk. All right, some of the early rounds are way more than that. So if we look at funding, boom. So you can see here the IEO price, February the 4th, 2024 to the 6th, which they raised 40K on gate.io, was 80 cents, right? So yeah, that's going to be a tough one at 70 cents. But I would of course love to, I will sell my house. I will sell the kids, man, to get more crypto. World-class backing. Look at that. Some of these, obviously, Binance listing would be pretty imminent because he already trades in Binance futures. But yeah, that's a massive risk because the IEO price was at 80 cents, and I don't think they'll give you. I mean, what are they on? 1.5, 1.5, 39%. All-time ROI for these guys was already 13x, right? So yeah, they've done pretty well out of it already. But yeah, I wouldn't risk it at all. Cool. Cortisol levels are too high. Yeah, I imagine that, bro. Look, sometimes, let me show you, man. Yeah, you got to search for this guy. You know what I mean? Like every now and then, like, to the portfolio. What? start start scratching the. No, listen, man. You've got to have a laugh with it. You've got to be made of nails. This game is not easy. Anybody who tells you, and what's even worse is, prior cycles, I was able to deal with it myself. Man, when you're doing this with the community, it's enjoyable. But trust me, the pressure is, you'll have like a couple of hundred people on your head, bro. But yeah, no, take it easy. Go for a walk. Zeros of Mafia. Is that what Dogan said, Eldrick? What's going on, Gonzo? I hope you're well, bro. As always, guys, I'm I'm miles behind, by the way, so I do apologize. What's happening, Daniel? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're blessed, man. Big up KC, guys. Congratulations on the dry powder. I think I did. Was it KC that I read on a tweet? I think you did something on Twitter, bro, that I enjoyed. I don't know if it was Pepe Coin, but I could be wrong. Yeah, Armzilla smashed it, bro. Guys, smash the like for my brother over here, because I think my bro has done incredibly well out of yeah, he absolutely smashed it, man. What's going on, brother? Yeah, sure. Look, I'll continue with the market, then I'll drop you and the guys the link for sure, bro. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, definitely, man. Cliff with the news, the Daily Dynex. Yeah, there was actually updates. I don't know if you've checked the updates channel. Yeah, there's so alerts and updates. I mean, alerts in terms of pricing, I think it was quite obvious. What I was actually aiming to do today, so we've got an updates channel. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I did drop some updates on there, brother. If you haven't seen it, I will drop it for you again. Yeah, I've updated here on this channel. So yeah, that was the Alpha 149, and then yeah, it was kind of like, it was quite cool. But just the frequency of those, I think the entire market was alerts, right? So yeah, I just wanted to update you, baby. Absolutely. So guys, I wanna continue a bit more before I take a look at some of your other questions. So the other things. So we talked about that. We talked about this. Dark times. What else did I want to show you over here? Oh, okay, yeah, back to my charts. So as you can see, guys, by this logic right now, everything is up for sale, and I'm not even gonna deny the fact that we are in a scary situation. Casper was one that kind of from kind of May went into this, and then you see what I mean, guys. On the 5-day on this indicator, it is not even there yet. So it's kind of like predicting how, if you look at this Casper move right now, that is, especially Casper versus Bitcoin chart, is quite incredible. And what I would say is some layer ones. So let's have a look at these BTC versus these layer ones. The one that I was impressed with really was looking at the performance of Sui in against or breaking out against BTC. So in terms of like it's come down a bit, but it was literally just forming higher lows against Bitcoin. And that's something quite interesting, because even on the daily, if you see that, It's one of the few cryptocurrencies that are recovering versus BTC. CAS is kind of like, so this is Casper versus BTC as well. And if you look at this chart was always, look, you see it on the weekly as well. It's been up against BTC for a very long time. It's now starting to face a bit of downward pressure. Would it come down some more? But some of the other charts overall, they need to show some kind of a recovery versus BTC, in my opinion. So also, one of the things I would encourage you guys to do is literally look at the relative strength versus Bitcoin at times, or ETH, and hopefully that will give you an indication of where a particular token could go. This is ETH versus BTC, and this is why we're not having an alt season, guys. This has been down against Bitcoin for a very long time. You know, the performance of Ethereum versus Bitcoin, and that kind of is a sentiment when you compare to Solana BTC. So if you held Solana instead of BTC this year, you would have outperformed that incredibly. Look at that. So some of these, you know, some of these calculations will actually help us moving forward. All of us collectively, you know, becoming better investors, because I think sometimes we don't pay attention into what these charts are doing. Where everybody's good at macro, everybody's good at the you know, reading the news, but what else is going on in addition to that? If I go to this list, so this is a list of all the altcoins. Again, if you start with Casper has been in this sideways action for, you know, sorry, in this range forever, right? So Casper has to come down to these levels for most people to be interested again. I read a comment today where somebody bought Casper at 18 cents, went to 19 cents, and obviously now it is where Casper is. For some of you, and I want to be fair to everybody here, for some of you who don't hold, or who are trapped with some of the old hyped cryptocurrencies, like your hellos, right now it's not even the time to consider selling this stuff. And if you do, it's just, if you bought it up here, you're screwed. If you got in from the early days, then obviously you've got to wait for these for this chart to show any signs of life before you can sell it. But I mean, a lot of those kind of tokens are just dead. You know, they may come back. So I'd advise you guys just to hold them. AGI. I saw a video today, and I wish I would have seen this video, but I think the guy was completely he made some really good points about critiquing AGI. You know, it's weird that, you know, I hold AGI. I've done videos about AGI, but you don't hear anybody questioning projects like AGI. And I think sometimes, you know, conversation has to be had. This is a sustained, of course, it's typical of the market, and we know that. But you've got to have, you've got to see some life in order for this. I mean, I'd be interested at this. I said today in the group, I would only buy this below 10 cents. You know, right now you can see here, got certain levels marked out. Maybe we'll come back and clear. There's a massive interest. When it came down, it got bought back up straight away. If you're trapped with GTAI, I don't know if you cut your losses here. That chart looks absolute dog shit. Surprisingly, one that actually held 10 cents today was Mint Layer, and yeah, Mint Layer just kind of held this, which is good to see. That I think the sell pressure here has taken its toll, and maybe this hasn't coincided with a lockdown. I mean, unlock. You notice I said lockdown, guys, because there is, I don't know, we may, catastrophically speaking, we may get some more news on that front. But the next unlock, so again, the IEO here was 25 cents. So 89% down from the all-time high, and all-time low here was 2 cents. That was 10th of September 2023, exactly a year ago. An all-time high was 99 cents, which it did back in January 11, 2024. So if you look at this project right now, and again, this is why sometimes you've got to see the bigger picture, right? If you're holding like a low cap gem, as I call them, that goes through the FUD, that has unlocks and all of that, the only people up here is those people that got in on gates. But if you look at the ROI over here from 25 cents on the IEO, this was they are down 57% because the entry here was 25 cents. And then obviously you had this strategic round, which is down 33% at 0.66x minus, so 16 cents. So right now they are down as well. So who's made money here? So that's why you've got to be patient. And in my opinion, I think if you're holding this from these prices, just let that sink in for a minute, because you've got early investors here. Obviously, they're obviously this round here has made the 3x, 4x on some of those VC funding rounds, but everybody else is absolutely down. Now they did raise $5.7 million, and in terms of their tokenomics right now, 15 million circulating. I don't think, is this up to date? Because there is some vesting coming up. But I would say in what they consider to be the banana zone, so you can see here now, all of a sudden 58% of the tokens are unlocked, right? And there is that 26% untracked. Now I'm in touch with the founder here, so maybe they'll come back and talk to us again. But in 22 days time after the rate cuts on the 18th, they have another unlock coming up over here with I think this is 4.76% of the total market cap. Let's just hope for mint layer's sake that the market is slightly better, which I suspect obviously September, we could still be in the similar scenario. So right now it's I wouldn't jump into it straight away, because I think it's there will be better opportunities to maybe get a generational buy on this, and just forget about it. 14 days is your date for a total supply. Actually, no, total supply would be 1 point. Yeah, so pretty much that's about 4.76% of the market cap. 700k will come into the market. Now, on the other hand, there is a bit of a news here. A shout out to my brother in the Discord who alerted me to this. But I think they've done some updates. So the mint layer update that they've done is the website now looks a lot more, before it just looked like a startup, like a placeholder type of website. But really they are going to push this narrative, and when the narrative comes, this is, I'm hoping that this layer 2 sidechain can show us at least get back to respectable levels. I'm not, by the way, I'm not putting the kitchen sink at it. You have to remember, I'm down as much, if not more, than those IEO prices. So my average entry is still way higher than what it should be. So I've locked some more tokens, and they're still paying pretty decent APY, guys. And I don't know if anyone's claimed their tokens, but I haven't claimed my tokens at all for mint layer, for the atomic airdrop. So that's mint layer. Another one we should address is Manta. All right. So this one is a fantastic technology, slightly difficult to use for retailers, horrible tokenomics to date, and Manta could present right now when it stabilizes, when it comes down. I don't think it will go too far lower than this, but let's have a look at Manta, because Manta suffers from the same fate as many of these VC coins, like your mint layers and these unlocks. So the price is at its all-time low at 61 cents. Did it dip below that? Yeah, you see there's another unlock coming. Yeah, this has a big TVL, but it's been all layer twos, to be honest, have been an incredible disappointment. Absolutely incredible disappointment. So I would say if you're a Manta holder, if you got into Manta above $2, I feel for you because I have a Manta bag, which is quite high in terms of the average entry. They are going to release $4.35 million worth of tokens fairly soon, and that date is 11 days away on the 19th. So this could be incredible after the announcement of the rate cuts. And then obviously if the market, which I expect the market will dip anyway, that's going to have an explosion of that's going to have a selling pressure. So it's not looking good for Manta right now. Let me check what other unlocks are happening. Token. Let's see if they throw something here that we don't know. I mean, this is what I mean. There's 100 million, nearly 99 million tokens, dollars worth of tokens such as, XAI, which is again a very good technology. The worst tokenomics. Neon EVM is going to be unlocking. You've got Aptos that are going to release 2% of the supply. Look at this. This is yeah, it's a good time to look at unlocks, especially how far down the line they are, because you could grab yourself some really good bargains if there is no unlock for the next 12 months of significance. So you can't, don't be viewing all unlocks as negative. They could work into your favor. You just have to dig through these and see what's out there for you. For example, Sui has an unlock in 24 days. I'll be watching that. Zeta was something that Superman talked about, the worst tokenomics ever. I'm down on that shit like you won't believe it. I'm not going to touch it. 41 cents. It could even be 10 cents. I won't touch it again. I'm looking for strength. Yeah, so, and this is again, this argument about Solana not having unlocks, or, tokens like Sui having a Solana-like run for the next leg up. It's absolutely possible because, Sol continues to have infinite number of or infinite supply, even though the vesting should be done over 15 years. So yeah, that's that. Now let's continue, because I know somebody holds something else that I'm tracking here. Big up to all the Cherbly holders. Your Cherbly bag right now is going to go down further and further and further. Microcaps don't do well in these types of markets. My recommendation here is, if you are holding this, sit tight and relax and just see how far down it goes. Your next levels would be, yeah, I mean, we are already at that level. So if Sui breaks down, I mean, if this Cherbly breaks down from here, then you're probably looking at the next support level, which is kind of like further down. So yeah, I would be looking at, well, I won't be looking at it because I do have a degen bag. But if these tumble microcaps, you've got to try and get them from the bottom, because next year you're going to look like an absolute smart investor if you buy a couple of $100 of a degen play. So don't rule them out. Just see if the project's still working, if they're still tweeting, if they're still alive, and then yeah, try and accumulate in these types of zones. You know, where it is, you never know, it could fall in here. Get yourself a nice little $100 bag, and the saga continues, like the Wu-Tang Clan with Miria, right? This is Miria. Every influencer's 1000x token. The next token you should buy is Miria. You know, honestly, if you bought Casper in the bear market, because I know some friends who were allocating money away from Casper back in 2023, and they were buying Miria, and it's one of the longest downtrends in the entire, like literally this thing has been it's been down, but right now just under $2,000 for a million tokens, $1,972 to get you a million Miria tokens. Shrapnel falling off the cliff. The saga continues. Wu-Tang chant. Oh man, buy the dip, guys. Buy the dip. I'm telling you, not financial advice. I'm not saying go get shrapnel, but wait for this thing to further capitulate. See what the market cap is. Not financial advice. These charts, you can't really chart these gaming tokens and some of these AI tokens. They're just complete, like they are proper scams. Like if you think about it, you know, and this is my logic, you know, saving the community. Why would you not invest in a like a decent layer one and concentrate all your degen money into a layer one like an Alephium, where the market cap is only $120 million, right? Makes sense. AI tech, somewhat a much better chart. Wouldn't you agree, guys? Smash a like if you agree with this, because I think this is a cryptocurrency that I'm starting to warm up to a lot. And again, you know, not financial advice, but I'm seeing things here that are encouraging. You know, these guys are building a deepin center, right? And for me, this is an area of interest. If in fact where it is right now, I marked that weeks ago on the chart. And yeah, this one is, you know, see if it holds these level. If it loses that, then you're probably looking at somewhere in this box, most possibly. I mean, it won't fall that far down because there's a good support here. 6 cents would be absolutely incredible. For AI tech, OTK has dropped. I'm waiting for this. This chart was good. I mean, again, for a micro cap, OTK, do not fade OTK, guys. Put it into your watch list. And you know, in terms of the I want to try and see how far it drops away from this this range here. And if it drops more than this, I am absolutely interested at OTK, because I think OTK is one of those currencies or one of those projects that will absolutely run. So if I mark this here and I come straight down to here, and that's where all the price action has been since it came out of this downward channel. So yeah, see if it gets back up to this level. That will be a confirmation for me that OTK is a real deal micro cap, an absolute gem. Because why am I saying that? Because look, if you look at the chart, it went all the way. This was like on the from June. So June 27, it just literally blew up. It doesn't take a lot of money to blow these up, but you've got to really consider monitoring that and see if it gets back up. Bitenso Tau, the saga continues here. Wu-Tang chart. You still got this dip 230. Do you know what? I have a feeling, right? The bottom of this channel is quite interesting for me when it comes to Tau. And if any of you guys are holding Tau, you should absolutely be watching this, because I have a feeling that, you see, and perfectly, the price ranges between that 160 to where it is right now, more or less. So yeah, if you want to set limit orders and you want to grab some Tau, maybe that's a good opportunity to do so. I couldn't believe today I saw GFAL with a green candle. I kid you not. Was it on the 4 hourly? Let me show you. Look at that. GFAL is fighting for dear life, guys. It's trying to break away from that massive what I'm surprised with is it hasn't dipped below 1 cent. I think he only done that once, and you can see here where it went in this wick over here, right there, and then he went back up. So what's Trip? I wonder what Trip is cooking, right? Is he still saying EA Sports is in the game? They keep advertising Trip Hawkins, man. The guy does absolutely F-all. They got worst marketing team I've ever seen, but this is more like a Biggie Smalls chart. I call this life after death because it's trying to struggle for dear life here. It's establishing some kind of a stop. If you compare that to Miria, so the argument was Miria is still swimming in this, right? There's no sign that this channel has been broken. But GFAL, yeah, it's it is literally, let me see, go back to the chart on the weekly. Bam, bam, that chart looks like the most beautiful head and shoulders you've ever seen in your life. In my life, look at that. This chart is, yeah. So look, none of these are buys, but I'm doing this because I think a lot of you are stuck with these tokens. Of G Swift, yeah, still. If the token burn works for G Swift, right, and their infrastructure play, and of course they start to build, I don't see why this wouldn't have a pump, because this went to a very good price in the recent run. Claw AI, I would never buy this ever again. Like, I would not invest in this. Let's not even track it, to be honest. Dex check is yeah, it's got buying pressure here, sticking to that 2 cent level like a glue. And I know one or two people in the community that were trying to get some Dex check DCK. I mean, listen, I don't know if any of you have used the Dex check ecosystem. So this was like back in November at 0.3. Then you go back to, throughout November last year when it came out. Literally, price is back to where it began. So I don't know what bro was complaining about, but I would not even think about the token unless I'm trying to stake into new projects, and I'm not interested in getting into new launches and the headache of getting into their into a new projects. But what I would say is everybody on this live should be using some element of this, because I think it's great. For example, you've basically got like analytics. It's a little bit limited. So over here it gives you like a list of top gainers, but what are they? Velo over here, Velodrome V2 went up by, so it gives you like, you can do like crypto intelligence here. So that's why I use Dex check. And if you buy the token and you stake it, you get into IDOs. Their app's not too bad. What else can I show you here? Where is the token alpha? You can look at different chains. So have a look at base. You see all the base meme coins over here. Ones like Degen, nobody talks about it anymore. It's not relevant. Market cap still $100 million. But yeah, it gives you a lot of different. It's basically like, I'm sure you've probably seen this before, but you've got something called whale tracker on this, and if you stake, I think 50 or 100,000 tokens, so they'll give you something like hidden whales and a whale watcher. So it's worth knowing what the crypto does, but as an investment, I wouldn't go near it. It could pump back up. You can see here it's done a full retracement, and yeah. Do you want to know what the strongest performing token that no one knows about? Just me and the caveman. This is Swiss cheese, and Swiss cheese is the best chart in the whole of crypto. Look at that. When have you seen something that launched and it never, I mean, it went straight up here and over here, it just kind of like, it just went beautiful sideways. Look at this. The channel, you know, from the top, that's absolutely, you know, it's 60% from there, but overall, I think this is an interesting project, in my opinion. Not financial advice, but this is what I would consider to be a Nas Escobar chart, because I think this has got performance over many years. This chart over here is not bad at all, as long as it's not going back to them. I mean, even if we take it from that, majority of the time, most of the price range was here. So it'd be interesting if it gets back to this box. That shows you relatively good strength. And it's one of the few that is green today. Fact is not dead, but it is at the worst level that it's been. I don't think it's been lower than that. There's been another wick. This is fact turn, and then this has been solid performer. Corporate world, guys, again, not financial advice, but this is a generational buy. If you look at early investors, a lot of people are locked into this project because this project has kind of, it didn't do what it's supposed to do, had a massive sell-off, crashed all the way there. You can see here, this downward pressure was just incredible, right? But what it did, and what I like these projects doing is, can they break the cycle of violence? And you can see here, it came out of misery with that candle. Now, do I still think that this cryptocurrency is going to pump? In no time, in my opinion, because the project is very, very good. It's just the fact that it didn't have a good start. You want to wait for this, guys. This is ZF, ZK Sync Finance. One of the worst charts in the whole of crypto. And if it wasn't for staking, this is an out of sight, out of mind project for me. It's a micro cap. It's now below 1 cent. But if you're an investor coming into crypto right now and you saw that chart, this looks like some kind of a drawing by a 4-year-old, right? Absolutely horrible chart. Is it good crypto? Yes, the DEX is incredible. The ecosystem is fantastic. A lot of things are going for this project. Having said that, ZK Sync has not really done much yet. It just launched in the wrong time, and I would think this might be a decent one to watch. I do hold it, but if you do buy it in these times, just stake it, because you can unstake it quite quickly. Merlin Chain. This is one of the biggest layer 2 Bitcoin projects. And actually, this was over $1. It came down. Tokenomics weren't that great. But Merl, which is what it's called, has a decent TVL. Let me see if that declined recently. Let's have a look at Merlin chain. Yeah, so that TVL, total value locked. Wow. And this is when you have to be critical of projects. They actually launched with what they claim to be over $3 billion in TVL. So the project still has $123 million in TVL. Not bad at all. Again, if you're into BTC narrative, layer 2, this is a decent project. And that's Merlin chain. And guys, I'll go through a few more. Gem AI was a rug over here. I bet the team scrambled to buy this back. That, you know, like the guy said, man, I'm not the smartest man in the world, but it looks like you're out there taking a shit. Famous words from Friday the movie. You know, the chart took a dump. Gem AI, I mean, I don't know how you can find gems with it, but it's similar to Dex Check in the sense that you can do contract analysis and stuff like that on it. Octaspace. Yeah, Cliff's going to like this one. Octaspace, man, come on. So with this one, you've got to just wait and pray and hope that it comes below $1. Creo Engine had a recovery, but obviously naturally selling off right now. And Tectum, what's the price of Tectum now? Yeah, 642. We need Tectum to come back to this $5 level. I think that will be a generational buy. Ondo Finance. Yeah, somebody was asking me about Ondo and whether it's a decent in a decent zone. Listen, I would love Ondo. I think Ondo will kind of bounce from these levels anyway because of that support. But I would love to hold an Ondo for a trade. I think, you know, holding at least with this one, I would put big money in it because I think the ability to trade is really there. And that's it, guys. Listen, those are the charts. I'll come back into the comments and then see what's happening. Maybe get the voice over. How long have I been on? 1 hour 12. Cetus and Navi. Hey, no buys yet. Okay, bro? Big up, guys. Casper. Yo. I was going to show you, might just give you a bad FOMO again. Yeah, we'll check it out now, bro. We'll check it out. I'll just quickly serve the everybody because everybody's been it's been kind of wanting to have an update on the other stuff that we don't normally talk about, including used car. Now, I'm glad you've asked me. If there was one project that I would love to be an ambassador for, is gently used Honda Civic at $1 million. You know, guys, if you're watching, reach out to me. We'll give you guys free promo. This is my favorite meme coin, and it looks like it's dying. So what's the depth right now? If I put $100 in it, maybe I can put this up to maybe 2-3x. Guys, if you don't know gently used car, I mean, most of you do, but any newbies watching this is one of the funniest meme coins, but do not buy this. Let's just have a laugh with it. And they've got 2 projects. Second project is useful. Oh, I love having a laugh on these red days, man. I mean, come on. This is how mental meme coins are. Yeah, gently used car. All right. So, guys, I'm going to send you the link. I want to keep it moving tonight, but come on in, lads. Any of the audience can join us. This is a free and fair platform. Yo, Dave from Brentford. Bradford, sorry. Oh, Dave, what's happening, bro? I'm actually from West London, so I thought you might be from the region, from the ends. Yeah, buy the fear, man. Sell the euphoria, buy the fear. Alf should be in Eve's place, 100%, bro. And for their tangent, so TV. Listen, I would buy Super Trump. If I'm being honest, Super Trump is insane. I think that could pump. I would also look into MAGA, but Super Trump coin. Yo, we've got the bro coming on in a minute. Wow, $9 million. Guys, you need to have some election tokens, right? And I know this had a massive sell-off, but let me bring in my bros. What is going on? Big man Kosa in the building. Sorry, I've just buried you in a... Yeah, there you go, brother. There you go. There you go. Hey. In a new studio today, huh?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I had to move out for the night from my house because I have guests and I wanted to join the chat later. So,
bro, probably the wife was like, enough is enough, man. Go out and leave the room.
No, she's fine with me being on the live stream, but her brother is visiting us with a wife and a little child, so they went to sleep. So
you want to be making the Sun Wukong dance? I got the big man in the building as well. What is going on, Mr. Cliff? Are you back in the studio?
No, I'm back. I'm in my studio in the States. What do you think?
Give us a wait. Give us a wait. Give us a tour. Let me just wait a minute. Let me stop presenting. There you go. Camera selection. You see, I'm not good at this thing, man. Sun Wukong, baby, Sun Wukong. First of all, before we continue, don't you just hate the international break? Honestly, there's no.
You mean
there's no
football?
Premier League football, man.
Yeah.
There's no Serie A. There's no La Liga. There's nothing. Like, I was watching earlier on today. Actually, no, I was watching the Bitcoin chart. I got wrecked a couple of times with my long trades, but the risk to reward ratio was tempting, man. I'm thinking about setting up some longs from like Ethereum at 1950 or something with 100x leverage. Nice studio there, Cliff, man. What is going on? Look at that. It's got right? Yeah. What are you preparing for us tonight? So, guys, we're going to have a world exclusive, I hope.
Oh, yeah. I'm just setting it up now for you. So, let's also add in.
I can see some. Wait.
Right. So I need to share my screen with you. One sec. Got to make sure I don't, dox the actual URL to it, right?
Oh, but look, I have to talk about this. So, bro said before we start, I'm adding Titan X, and it gives me the Hex vibes. Mr. Bud, bro, I've been mining that stuff for forever, and I wish I can find a way to get my Ethereum back. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't think that's gonna be Hex, but if it does, I'm already in the ecosystem, and my couple of ETHs are worth nothing now, and I don't even know how to unstake it, what yields I'm getting. So yeah, I mean, Cliff would know about that proof of stake mining and proof of work, Titan X. All right, sir, let's do this.
Well, I promised you something, didn't I? As soon as I could get the all clear to showcase it. So you've been waiting for this for a couple of weeks now since I told you about it and showed you those photos, right? Remember those photos? Oh yeah.
The RoboCop or the
one thing we've been really working towards. So the biggest thing for us right now, right, other than obviously the fact that our price has gone to shit right now for today, which, you know, pretty much everyone's in the same boat. We're just continuing to work, right? Carry on as we mean to go on. So for us, quantum LLM, it's a big thing. Damn. Right? It's going to be the very first of its kind. Sam has worked like a madman, right? I was going to get him on for the event, right? But unfortunately, he looks like a crazy scientist right now because he hasn't slept in 2 days. So I was going to suggest he come on, but yeah, he's pretty adamant that he's in no fit state to be on a YouTube channel right now. But yeah, to say the least, I did try and convince him, but yeah, you should see my screen share, by the way.
Oh,
there
we go.
I might need to zoom this in a bit. So.
Okay, we can zoom in.
You work that way? Or do you need me to?
Yeah, wait, guys, smash a like. This is a world premiere, a world exclusive right now. And yeah, that's very clear. So can I preface you? So everybody, I think everybody hears about LLMs or large language learning models, but could we maybe start with the unique aspect of maybe quantum LLMs as opposed to having just a standard like ChatGPT? Yeah.
So the biggest challenge on a quantum-based LLM, right, or that we've found, is to do with the transformers side, right? And the transformers are there's roughly 7 or 8 of them. I believe we're running 7 right now. Sam's going to kill me if I get that wrong, but I think it's 7. But they cover off different aspects, right? So that's like understanding language, or NLP, right? We showcase that very early as a bit of a introduction to what we're working on, or natural language processing. Then there's obviously higher levels of transformers, so like complex thinking, complex mathematical problems, and all of those kind of things, right? And all these transformers go together to build out what is a large language model. Now, normally in a normal LLM, you need some quite hefty resources, right? So you're looking at 24 gig plus GPUs, preferably 80 gig H100s, just because you want the very best. The bit with quantum comes in where it is very difficult to run LLMs in quantum because you need an obscene level of compute. Just so happens that our network can actually do obscene levels of compute, which when we started testing 5-6 months ago, the NLP, we quickly realized that we had enough compute to actually pull this off. Sam kind of blew everyone out the water because he didn't tell anyone that he'd figured it out until this was ready almost, right? It kind of blew everyone's minds at that point because we were at the point where we were debating on how we were going to do it, how we were going to build these transformers to work in a quantum-based solution. Everything that runs on a normal PC or normal compute has to be translated over to quantum. Now there are actual programs to do that. One of them is actually called Penny Lane, It's a package that's already developed that helps bridge that gap between classical and quantum, which is awesome, right? But to utilize that, we first have to patch in the capability for PennyLane to actually utilize Dynex. So before we even got to the LLM, Sam had to make sure that PennyLane and all the other classical to quantum actually was built. So it's more than just, an LLM at this point. It's actually 5 or 6 parts to the whole that he's had to build. Which is why, we were estimating the end of the year, this kind of thing would be in pre-alpha. We're at that point now. Sam made a really good decision to pull the trigger early. I think this is the right way for us to be developing, right? Like we always go a million miles an hour at Dynex with development, right? You've seen it yourself, right? Both of you actually have, and both of you actually talk to me about that, right? The development curve is relentless, and although our price is not quite where we want it to be, and you know me, I don't like talking about price of Dynex, but we look at this as, we look at this as a good time for us to continue to develop, to showcase that even though the price is not good right now, that doesn't stop what we're doing, right? It doesn't halt the project. Just because there's a bump in the road doesn't mean we're just going to pull the car over and get out and stop. So this is pretty much what we've been working on for the last 6 months, flat out. There's been other bits that have obviously come along, but this is what we've been truly working on. And so, when you can just click a button and immediately code without any understanding, as I called it earlier to Mr. Patriot Caveman over there, I called it caveman coding. You don't actually need to understand coding, right? This just gave you the code to do a quantum circuit for a portfolio optimization of stocks in less than 1 second. Right? No code required, no code from me required. Right? I've basically just been put out of a job by what this can do. Right? As a developer, right, I look at this and go, oh my God, there's my job gone, right? Like completely. But I also look at this as this will allow people the chance to actually build programs for themselves without having the knowledge of actually the code, right? And you can keep refining this, right? So I can add another constraint, for example, and it'll refine the code some more. I can add another constraint and it'll refine it even more. Just like ChatGPT, basically, right? But this bit is specifically around coding. Now, obviously, Sam's working on the full-blown Dynex GPT where you can actually converse with it. But the basis of what it's going to run is this. This is the first time that pretty much anyone has seen this run. And we're very proud of this, right? This is not something that anyone else has ever done. Quantum LLM doesn't exist until today. That's massive. Wow. For technology, for crypto, for blockchain in general. Right? I've talked about it a number of times. Blockchain has to mature for it to have pure adoption. Yeah, it can't just be cryptocurrency. It needs more than cryptocurrency, because there's always going to be your bad players in cryptocurrency. And while there's always bad players, it's just going to give it a bad rap. And therefore, adoption then slows down. What we want is plenty of examples of new concepts on blockchain to actually drive more adoption. And then that drives infinitely more adoption to the crypto side, right? I've looked at this a couple of times. I've looked at when Ethereum rolled out, smart contract DeFi 2020, right? And we all went on the NFT craze and everything like that, right? It was another step forward of blockchain to do something other than cryptocurrency. I may not agree with NFTs or what NFTs ended up being, because they could have been so much better. But literally this, like Kosa could literally write himself a piece of code on this, right? And say, I want to look at this crypto project, this crypto project, this crypto project, and tell me where the buy and sell orders should go. and then hit generate code, and it'll run him a piece of code that will literally run off Dynex and give him the ability to know where his buy and sell points are. Now, how cool is that?
Cliff, sorry.
Sorry, who's this?
Somebody named me on the chat Polish sausage.
Yeah, let me get rid of him.
Oh, there's always one, right? There's always one. Like,
No, but let me chuck him out, because again, I do not tolerate any form of discrimination, whether it's race, religion, color, nationality,
correct,
sexual preference.
There's no need for that in any society, in my view, right? We've had a number of talks about this in the past with other people, right? We've always said that, you know, this is the one reason why I really like DXB's community, right? Because you have some standards. You actually have some standards that you hold to everyone. It's not just one person hold that to. It's everyone, including yourself, right? Even you've put your hands up and at times where you've had to say, well, I apologize, or this has gone too far, or, you know, any of that. You're very quick to make sure that everyone has the same rule set, and that's why I really like interacting with your community.
Look, I thank you for that, and I think it's already hard enough, this game, right?
Sure.
Where we, you know, and it's almost like you get these absolute low lives, right? Look, nothing here is financial advice. We're talking about technology right now.
Yep.
And no one's actually telling you to take your money or take your tangent and go and buy this crypto or that crypto. Information is purely factual. What we invest in.
To me, I'm always the same, right? I never advise you to get into any project until you've done your own research. That's big rule number one, right? Two, only invest in what you can afford to lose, because at the end of the day, this is no different than going down the casino.
So you got your team here.
Oh yeah, Sherm's our head mod. Rara is another one from our community as well. I'm sure there's tons of them. I dropped the message saying I'm going live to get all of them. Yeah, I suspect there's a few that jumped over to come and have a look. But this is a monumental step for technology, right? Like, can you imagine if you have a crazy idea and never have been able to code it before, right? Now you have the ability to just pump this in with a load of variables, right? We tried to make it as easy as possible, right? Each constraint and rule set, you just add another one, add another one, add another one, hit go. I mean, we're trying our best to make this as user-friendly as possible. Now, this is very much pre-alpha right now. There's no design wrapped around it. We're working on a design that, you know, meets our standard. My friend Rude from over in the Netherlands, yeah, he knows when I get talking about tech, I can go for a good hour or two, believe you me. Well, we've had that before, haven't we? 3 hours, I think we did the other day. So,
wow. Yeah, marathons.
You know, tech in general, right? We always see these leaps forward, right? I think the last big one before even crypto was obviously the .com bubble, where you know, the World Wide Web effectively blew up and became what it is today, right? Before that, web was very different. Like Web 1.0, as they call it, like that was very different times. Now we're getting to the point where you're not even going to need a developer to actually help you build apps. You just be able to click a button, give it some ideas, and away it goes. Like that.
So
to me,
could you integrate, like for example, could you integrate voice chat to it? Like
yes,
like
yep.
So you could be talking to your whatever mic or computer and say, look, create a code for X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
And make this code look like Koza.
Exactly. Or some generative art or some generative music, I believe is the next one as well. Like, you know, you want a good intro music for yourself, right? For your live streams. We can just pump in, make me a really, you know, excellent intro music. I want it to have this kind of beat. I want these kind of instruments in it. I want it this long. I want this kind of pace on the tempo, and wham, there you go. There's your MP3 done. Do you know what I mean? Like that. That's where it's leading to right now, and that to me is a big jump for people, right? Because there are a lot of people in the world that have excellent ideas but have no clue on how to build an app, and that to me is, you know, super important for new concepts to be brought out, right? Not everyone's a coder. Not everyone knows developers. Not everyone's got the money for developers. Let's be honest, developers are expensive, right? I'm a developer myself, and I'm saying that, you know, developers are expensive when you start doing 6-month, 12-month projects. But what if you could actually do those refinements yourself? How much money are you going to save? It's crazy. And realistically, I think that Kosa's probably already on my alpha list. I got a suspicion that he will want to have a go at seeing what it can do from a crypto side of things rather than, say, stock markets. I think Kosa would be interested. I know Caveman wants to give it a try from like your other end of the scale, somebody who really doesn't do technology, right? Can somebody like Caveman, as he said, can he caveman it? Well, if he can caveman it, then anyone can work it, right? He's going to kill me for that comment. But you get my point, right? We're going to try using every level of experience, from somebody like Caveman, who doesn't really do tech, all the way to somebody like me and Sam, who do quantum coding, right? Can we cover every range of person? Because if we can, then effectively we got something that can rival any other GPT type system. And that's amazing.
That is absolutely first. So if you don't mind me asking, so is it on an application, or is it run through just a normal portal?
No, it's going to be a full-blown app. So you'll be able to download it locally, effectively into your own network, and then it would just connect to Dynex. We're still working out how we're going to do this from a subscription model side of business. We suspect that we will have a GPT type subscription that's very much based on this. And we might even host a version that allows you some basic chance to play around with it and see what it's like free of charge. I think giving out a free account of some kind makes a lot of sense. A, we get feedback from users, and B, users get a chance to use it, test it, and see how good it is before they even put their money where their mouth is. And that means there's zero overhead to somebody to give it a try. That to me is amazing, right? There's not many companies out there that really do go, oh, well, here's our software. Use it for free for a couple of days and tell us what you think. There's very few.
So Cliff, in the race to develop the ultimate LLMs, how would you be competing with the likes of Tau, for example?
That's an interesting one. I'd love to actually go once we're ready. We are going to basically go on a benchmark binge, as I've been calling it internally. And we're going to benchmark ourselves against every GPT provider going. That also, and Tariq,
is it called Minch or Binge?
Binge, as in like, you know, what you do when you're very hungry, you know, after too many of those shishas, when you go and get your KFC, right?
Well, I thought you said mint, so I'm not sure a lot of people understand this slang, but the opposite of, you know, binge is minch, but nobody use that, please. It's
but basically the concept is, right, that we're gonna, and even Tariq is a little bit unaware of this, but I'm gonna benchmark it against Octa AI too. Now, might cause a little bit of a disruption between me and Tariq, but hey, we're always, we're always very respectful to each other. I actually got off the phone with it. I actually had an hour-long conversation with Tariq today about them doing some benchmarks too. So, you know, look out for the Octa space benchmarks too. I won't go and spoil it all for him because he's got some amazing benchmarks to showcase. And I suspect as will we once we get going. I want to benchmark against every GPT. That includes like all the crypto versions, but equally so all the mainstream ones. So we're going to test ourselves against Chat GPT one-on-one. Same comments, same like actual questions, and we're going to time them side by side. I'm even going to record it in real time, just so that people can see just the difference.
Well, that's going to be, that's big, in my opinion. I think
it's the only way to prove the tech, right?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, especially in crypto now, like the level of decentralization that's happening. Are some of these projects really decentralized? Earlier on, I was doing some gaming research, and I found out like 96 or 97% of all crypto gaming projects are not really on the blockchain. So they'll do, for example, they're all off chain, and they'll do asset management or gameplay or something on the blockchain, whereas everything else is just run on a AWS server somewhere. So can I ask you? So when you have your, let's say, for example, not just your GPUs, but for example, Okta, will they? I think Tarek said that they do rent out some normal cloud spaces.
Yes, we have a couple of services that we use. Obviously, there are certain things that we need to protect ourselves with, and certain things for our websites. Obviously, we're not a full web infrastructure kind of thing. We're a quantum service, so we don't have obviously a decentralized web service. We obviously host that on a AWS cloud, mirrored over 10 different data centers. So I mean, it's as decentralized as we can go without risking the security of our network. And the same with Octaspace. They've got a couple of services that they need to run, like Cloudflare for their DNS service, for example, so that they can migrate DDoS attacks. Because in a decentralized network, there is no DDoS protection, because every node you're going to is effectively someone's PC. What we don't want to do is send a 500 gigabit DDoS directly into our network. That would be savage. That would be really bad. And a couple of these services have been hit like that. We've seen it in the past, and we'll see it again, right?
So that's where quantum computing can, in general anyway, can sort of help in real use cases.
Yeah, we're looking at also, along with this, there's one other big project, and I've talked about it briefly, but we're calling it something along the lines of multi-dimensional quantum encryption. If I can get this working, because it's a lot of work, basically I'm redefining what encryption is and how it will work going forward. Now, that's a lot of work.
Have you got the robot as well? I love the.
So you saw the announcement, right, for the Quantum OS for robotics. Yes. Yeah, I'm actually currently writing that operating system right now. So it's built on Linux, predominantly Ubuntu, and that will house all of the Dynex circuit stuff, all of the Dynex code that we need to run internally, and effectively it will directly link to our LLM. So in essence, it will have a very powerful brain. But we're going one step further. We're going one step further than that. So I ordered a neural scanner.
Damn.
Right? Oh, we're going really high. We're going really into science fiction now. So a neural scanner will map your electrical inputs through to your brain, right? It doesn't copy over memories, because memories are stored chemically in your brain, right? But you can, in theory, map the human brain's pathways, right?
Damn. Did you actually tell whether people are stupid or clever? Like,
we're gonna really push the boundaries of what we can gonna do with a robot.
You don't need quantum computers to say if somebody's
No. You never know. Look, guys, honestly, this is the Matrix. Like, I'm on the caveman side when it comes to things like computing and conspiracies. I remember one of my first ever dates was taking a girl to watch the Matrix, and I was so glued. And I was a kid.
Oh,
man,
we're getting this close to that kind of technology. You know that, right? This kind of close.
Yeah, but she was gone. Like, literally, I was watching the Matrix. Back in the days when they used to change the film, like if the movie is 2 hours long. I'm sitting there, and this is why, obviously, I have interest in kind of like really, really like supercomputing. So that leads me to a question, and I don't know if you've got a question, Kosa, but for me, what is the ethical restrictions around quantum computing? Where do you guys ever feel like in the future, like there would be some type of regulation, or just like with privacy, right? Like privacy coins. If you look at, again, if we bring it back to crypto investing, you had Monero, which was doing everything in terms of privacy. Then regulation came, and they were like, it wasn't cool to use it anymore. Could there be a point where you guys are with the
Sorry, I just saw the about a message.
Yeah, like
not use the data itself.
Like
no, the next one.
Like the stuff Cliff is talking, like brain mapping. It's a little disturbing for me.
Yeah,
that's a good question. Yeah. If that's the case, we are all Sun Wukonged, because
no, but like this is something that I promised you, didn't I? That as soon as it was ready to showcase, that you were going to get the exclusive of having a look at this. And once it's ready for an alpha, I'm going to open it up to your community to be some of the first on Dynex GPT. Because a lot of your community gives feedback, right? It's useful information. It's, constructive criticism. And that's good. I love constructive criticism, because that's what drives us.
I've never seen you, again, I've never seen you shy away. Again, I love the fact that you talk to people, you confront any questions. We can't really say that.
Yeah, even the tough questions.
Absolutely. And today I wanted to tell you guys something. I wanted to tell you a quick story, and I think you'll find that on the channel. I did a video just doing, I think, Kosis. Are you back, bro? I thought we lost you, man. Do you want to grab some coffee?
No, I'm fine. Yeah.
Are you good? Worry. You're holding up?
Yeah,
brilliant.
Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
Because I love when you're in that mood, man. Like last week, bro, you had a couple of drinks and it was fantastic. Probably one of the best streams that we've ever had. But I posted a video today, and a guy wrote in the comment, you're talking about Sui, you're gonna get people wrecked. I hate you now. Give me my oranges. And he stormed out of the YouTube chat. And I'm reading there and I'm thinking, man, you're reacting to someone else's opinion that strongly. And at the same time, he was bigging me up because he made me feel like I was paid by the Sui Foundation. Right? which means my bear market would have been over, man. Yeah, go and find a small channel with 10,000 whatever and pay them Sui Foundation. So people are emotional. This is an emotional subject.
We get some very emotional people in the Dynex Discord, right? A lot. And I've talked to a lot of them over the time, right? And it's purely natural to be frustrated, right? People have got money invested, right? I mean, hell, me and you, DX, right? I dare not even imagine what your portfolio is down, but it's probably close to what mine is, right?
It's
not good. It's a big red day, right? it's a case of you open your wallet, you look at it, go no thanks, and walk away from it for a couple of days.
The only quality I've ever had in life was just a pure love for bear markets. I'm a bear market guy.
Yeah,
like all that bull market nonsense. I love to see how low things can go and what we can buy.
I mean, we started building in a bear market, right? So we're used to having, terrible days during our build process. I mean, beginning of 2023, it was horrid for weeks, right, for us. And then we saw a big, huge wave in around July. It was pretty much us and Casper that were the only projects pumping at the time. We sort of had a mini cycle of our own. But, what it says to me is that it just gives me even more fire to build, even on a bad day. It just gives me more fire to want to build more. And that's what
I think the price drop. Your price drop actually is not. I've always said
it's horrible, but it's not as savage as some. Some got absolutely wrecked today.
Have you seen Casper today?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still not in the.
But then Casper's well supported by a lot of projects now, by a lot of outside investment. I suspect they'll be fine. They've also got a lot coming soon, right? Their new super fast 10 blocks a second job. When they get that stable and it starts ripping, oh my god! If they can then start getting like big customers to start using that as a cash terminal, they're going to be up with Visa. Right, and that's just at 10 blocks a second. Now imagine if they go to the full what they were going to go, which I think is 32 blocks a second, right? Like crazy numbers. And I was speaking with Shay, and like potentially it could go even bigger than that. It just there's a point of diminishing return, I think, at that point, right, where you're pumping blocks so fast you're not even filling them. So I mean, KRC20, like their version of inscriptions, like BTC ordinals. I'm looking forward to those. Very much looking forward to those. Actually,
they're going to do that on the KRC20.
Yeah, so KRC20 isn't actually a smart contract. It's more like an ordinal for BTC. It's more of an inscription at that point, right? It's not smart contract. Although some people that have done Casper, like as a fork, are trying to put smart contracts into it, but you got to trust that the people that are running the project understand what they're doing, right? And I suspect that they have a plan. They are sticking to that plan, right? They're pushing through with that plan. And eventually, once they get it stable, it's all systems go for it, right? They've already got a big enough network to support it. They just need to make sure it's stable, right? And that comes with a bit of time and a bit of refinement. My God, if you saw how many problems ETH had at the beginning, or Solana, I mean, Solana still has problems, right? Their blockchain stalls out at least once every 6 months.
Yeah, there's regular outages. Yeah,
it happens.
I mean, there's an upgrade coming for Solana anyway. Yeah, go on, Composer. Sorry, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, like Solana is offline at least two days a week.
You know what I mean? Like that they try. They're trying to make sure that their network's safe, but when Pump.Fun is spanking them with 1 million transactions every day, you can almost understand why.
It's a problem. It is a problem, and I think the many chains who go down that route will ultimately suffer from that. But I'm
really glad I could have a chance to show you this. Right, I got this cleared by the boss today. I let rip in Dynex Discord today and was getting really leaky, and then I was just like, boss, let me just let me do it.
Let's do it.
Just let me do it. Like I've been waiting for the opportunity to showcase this, right? Every day I get Sam sending me pictures. He's like, you've got to see how good this is. You've got to know how good this is. This thing's absolutely amazing, hyping it up to me every day while I've been on holiday. I'm like, this isn't fair. I'm on holiday. I'm under strict instructions not to be working, right? And he keeps sending them and just teasing me more and more and more. And then even the boss starts teasing me with pictures of what he's doing with it. And I'm like, this isn't fair. This is not fair. This is the one time that I would love to be getting involved, and I'm under strict instructions to be taking it easy. I'm like, damn it. That's it. Text him. I want to go on here. I'm going to go and get Leaky. Do you have a problem? And he finally agreed that we could show it as a pre-alpha, with obviously the alpha coming in probably 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, the main alpha?
There's another leak for you. Look, 2 to 3 weeks for the alpha. And then everyone will be invited to come and have a little play, have a look at what we're doing, give us some feedback, because obviously that includes the design elements as well, because wrapping a good design that's easy to use comes as part of the development process. Right. And then obviously the usability side of it, right? Does it understand what you're asking it for? Does it support multiple languages, right? We've got to start training it with multiple languages. So, you know, I might ask him Belter, for example, to translate it to Dutch. Or I might ask my friend Rude there, he's also Dutch, you know, to translate it for us into there. I might go and ask Caveman to, you know, give it to me in Caveman speak, so that he can just, you know, put in Caveman talk, and it'll work, right?
Caveman's a legend.
Oh, I love Caveman. He's such a good guy.
He's such a legend, man.
Legitimately a nice guy. Have a lot of time for Caveman. Always will answer.
I sometimes feel like he's the brain behind quantum computing. I'm telling you.
Oh well, like he says, if Caveman can work it, it's on a good path. And actually, I don't know if Caveman will like me telling him that, but I have agreed to act as a tutor for Caveman for something special. So
this is interesting.
Yeah. He reached out. He wanted to know if I would be willing to teach something to someone. I don't know whether he wants me to fully say it, but yeah, I agreed. He's like the way he put it. Absolutely, I'm more than happy to. And that's the thing, right? Like, I'm more than happy to teach. Education is part of my role of head of ecosystem, right? Teaching and understanding about the crypto side, about the quantum side, about how, you know, Dynex in general works. It's all part of my role as head of ecosystem.
Which is something that, to be honest, we're fortunate from you, and I think you are a definite credit to the to your team, and you know, I'm sure the guys are very happy with you. The one thing I would say is this field has I don't think I've seen another quantum project as
not
such.
even close.
Do you think, because you know how crypto works, right? You had the Pyrins for Casper,
sure.
Carlson's. Is there a way to kind of try and do quantum computing, and these guys start obviously coming into your space? And who do you see as your closest competitor right now?
Closest competitor in crypto side or actual enterprise side? Or both?
Both.
Crypto side.
Okay, so crypto closest for us would be, you know, anyone that is, I mean, it's not really close because there's nobody else doing it. But if we were to say, it would be anyone doing possibly AI, right? So anything like your AI projects. So that would be, you know, Octa AI, and anything like that would be potentially a competitor. Even Octa is a competitor to us to a certain degree, but not in the traditional sense. But I mean, I haven't seen anyone try doing quantum algorithms on a blockchain yet. Now, I'm sure there will be some soon, right, that give it a go. But we've spent nearly 5 years in development overall. You know, this is our sort of third year now, right? We're getting into that third year spell now, and we did like 2.5 years before we went blockchain. So, you know, 5 years, that's a lot of work.
That is incredible amount of work, guys. And I think, listen, you know, I'm really happy that obviously projects like this exist, because this whole space is interesting right now. But I would say, before I wrap it up, because I'm I'm
I'm getting moaned at by the wife that I've got to go and get some food.
Yeah,
So.
at 3 in the morning. So I've got to.
Yeah, it's a bit late for you.
Yeah.
Let's bring you into. So are you running this code? Is this code going to do anything like?
So here's what it generated when I clicked go. So this is a portfolio optimization for doing stocks and shares, and it literally is 1 second. So if I add another constraint, right? So that's using the Yahoo Finance package. It's looking at Apple stock. Add the ticker for. Let's think. 1 second. Let me just double check. What's Alphabet? Alphabet stock ticker. I think it's ALF, isn't it?
Are you gonna try Alephium?
Well, actually, we've got to train it on what actually a crypto market is. So we're still working on the. Oh, there it is. Goog. There it is.
Oh, yes, Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong.
Dude, the
generate, and there you go. Now it's picked up Apple, Google. Look, it's even added a few extras just because obviously it's realized I've added now 2 and now it wants to add another one, but we can add let's refresh this. All right. So here's the quantum circuit for portfolio optimization. So minimum of 20 characters. So please let's do add a constraint around a buy and sell order that is 10% higher or lower. And literally, there we go.
Wow.
That's added a few more. And it will just you can keep adding to this and generate. Literally, it's so fast. You can see that there was no wait time.
No, instant. It's literally.
No. And you can see.
Can it find a bottom for Sun Wukong?
Actually, once it's done once it works on crypto tickers, right? I'll let you completely loose on it, Kosa. How's that sound? And you can go nuts with it and give me your feedback, because I bet you have an absolute whale of a time with it.
Man, if you give it to Caveman, he will be trading.
Caveman's going to get really, really bad case of FOMO when he starts playing around with this, and he can build himself a code system that basically tells him when to buy and sell every single coin. He's gonna get it bad.
That's incredible.
Yeah, he's going to get that.
So is there a retail application for this?
Yes. So the retail of this, right, is that you can build out your own software even without a developer. So that means single person businesses or a couple of people that work at a business no longer have to go and spend 50, 100K getting a developer in to do this for them. They can just log on to here, add all these features and go generate me the code and done.
Incredible.
Yeah, I've just put myself out of a job as a developer, by the way. Like, I know I wanted to retire, but there's retiring and then there's effectively retiring every developer in the world. Technically, that's. I mean, I'm going to get some kickback on that one from all the developers because, like, we've just been put out of job.
Will this generator be somehow connected with
lads, give me 1 second.
Dynex token? Like is there a utility for Dynex token?
Yeah. So every time this is ran, it actually processes on the network, and that's why if you look at our jobs over the since the beginning of the month, right, we're already halfway to what we did last month, and it's only 9 days in, because this just keeps on churning out more and more and more. And as we refine more and more people want to use it, and more people are starting to use it even more. And once Sam gets that GPT side done, where you can literally start talking to it like an ordinary chat GPT, you're going to be able to have a lot of fun on it. A lot of fun. It's going to be, I'm still getting my head round what this means going forward, right? Because originally when I joined, Quantum LLM was off the table because it was just way too complex, right, for even what we were running. What we've found, though, is over the months, as we've learned more and more about the quantum side with our network, we've realized actually we can do it. And Sam pulled out all the stops to make it happen. And that's amazing. Like, somebody's just put in, you know, not going to lie, this is badass, right? I'm blown away by it. And I'm getting to play with this for maybe the third time in this week. And, you know, every time I run this, it gets more and more and more. And Sam every day rolls out new updates on it. And then it's like, okay, so everything I knew yesterday is now, you know, old, and I have to relearn what it's doing again. And I suspect that'll be like that with the Dynex GPT once it launches. We're going to see refinement after refinement as we dial that system in. And I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some of the bigger players start wanting to come to us to use that kind of technology, because now they're going to see that training a GPT, this is where it gets really fun. So training a GPT is quite extensive on resources, right? So just to train it for, say, a very small data set might take 30 minutes. Yeah. Takes less than 2 on Dynex to do the same training data.
For me, what's amusing about this is like the people who creates this technology, like they are giving a death sentence for themselves somehow, yeah?
To a certain degree, yes. We're basically putting ourselves out of a job. But it does not mean that we won't stop developing for it, because this is something that could be massively beneficial to everyone to have, right? Why need to, you know, okay, I've just seen a message there. Hang on one sec. It says, Cliff, how is the code applied for people who are not tech savvy and can't read code? So this generates out the code. This is based on Python. Once we've actually got this, should we call it skinned with a design and a theme, it will explain exactly step by step on how you should be able to run this and how step by step what you need to do. We're going to make this very, you know, step by step. Here's how you do it. People can then turn off that if they want to, right? It'll be a bit more like a mini tutorial style system, right? Where it goes, here's what this can do, here's what this can do, here's what this can do. And you can turn that off if you're a bit more advanced in coding and understanding of coding. You can just turn that feature off. But if you need some help and assistance, then effectively Dynex is going to be helping you code on Dynex. You know, I keep always saying Dynex code in Dynex, but it really is true now that Dynex can literally code Dynex. We actually had some fun and games here, Arcosa, put our own blockchain software through this and said, optimize it. Dynex code in Dynex. Now, nice. Who's responsible for the code then if a quantum machine is coding itself? You tell me? Because I'm still trying to get my head around that. Sam was like, yeah, we can just let it loose. We'll just let it, you know, self-improve and stuff. And I'm thinking, oh, here we go. We're going to get Skynet soon and we're going to have some fun with that. But like, so, you know, it's really, really cool. And I see I'm getting some questions now. So I bet I should really answer these, right? There's some really good ones as well. It says, so the code will be playing in the background, but readable in human form. Correct. It processes on the back end using Dynex and then gives you a complete output on the front end that's human readable. Yeah, it's going to be that easy. And then there was the other message was, so would the code generated be optimized for minimum resource usage? Yes, exactly. It literally will scale with the problem size. So the bigger the problem size, more resources. Smaller the problem size, or say you're only doing a small refinement to it, obviously the resources are lower. It's dynamically scaled. And also something that most people, I'm not sure, understand, right? So GPT will actually start forgetting after a while what you've been talking about. They call it hallucinations, right? Where you might turn around and ask it what color the sky is, and it'll turn around and say red. And it'll be absolutely adamant that the sky is red because it's run out of what's called tokens. you can think of tokens like short-term memory, right? Well, we've implemented long-term memory storage. So over ChatGPT, we can hold about 5 times more question data in a single system than what ChatGPT can.
Wow.
So it allows you to constantly refine a little bit more over what you'd be getting out of ChatGPT. So yeah, it's really cool. I'm looking forward to when this goes fully live, man. This is gonna, like, honestly, I've been waiting for this for months, right? It's one of our biggest achievements to date. And, you know, for us, like, we're also making sure we're ISO compliant right now. I'm going through the steps of making us ISO compliant right now. ISO 27001, for example, right, which is all to do with data privacy and data handling. We're doing that right now. We've just got our compliance data document back from the lawyers around HIPAA, which is to do with medical information in the US. We've just got the lawyers understanding around MiCA for us as well, and we're compliant with MiCA. And that is something that is super important for me, right? To make sure that the business stands above everything else, we have to be 100% compliant. And we will go for all of it. We're not going to shy away from those compliance documents. We're not going to be like other projects who say, we're decentralized. We're not going to go for security certificates. Screw that, right? Screw that. We're going for every type of security certificate that is within our grasp. And that's super important to me.
Do you have like estimated time of releasing this?
What, this? Alpha will be 2 to 3 weeks away. Full rollout, I suspect probably by the end of the year.
Nice.
Full rollout. Yeah, I'm going to put Sam under a huge amount of pressure now. He's going to message me. He's going to be so upset. Why did you give a date? Oh, look, he's actually in the chat. Oh, my God. Just like clockwork. Just like clockwork, he turns up. Oh, man. I'm in so much trouble with Sam. Damn. But yeah, Sam, honestly, Sam in the chat is Sam, our quantum guy, the guy who actually made Dynex LLM. Like, genuinely, the man is a genius. And that's coming from me. Amazing. Like, genuinely a genius.
Sam, you just made a lot of programmers going
unemployed. We just made ourselves redundant, Sam. Don't worry. We'll actually be able to retire early.
Brilliant, guys.
Honestly,
look,
I'm so glad I could get a chance to show it to you.
No, this is incredible. I mean, just seeing the just to see that what we can do is that's amazing. But it's almost like I'm starting to sorry, I think I've buried you in these comments. Let me just get this. How do I get this?
Yeah, I wish I had this stuff when I was on university, man.
Oh, it's gonna screw you. I didn't even consider education side of things, right? People going for like, you know.
Right now, when I look at this, I think to myself, I want to be 10 years younger, go to university and learn this stuff, not stuff I was learning.
Well, funny you should mention that. Now, Sam's going to really kill me for this one because I don't think we've talked about this at all. Sam is going to kill me. So you mentioned doing a university course, right? Learning this kind of stuff. Maybe there's one coming, is all I'll say. Maybe there's one coming, or maybe there's already one in the works. Yeah, we're looking at running a Dynex university course. Nice. Because the best way to actually be able to have the next generation of programmers that can use this technology is to run kind of a university course where people can have a proper certificate, be properly qualified for it. And obviously we gain a whole bunch of coders for Dynex by running that kind of thing. I've just seen the message that says cut the connection, DXB, bang, cliff. Yeah.
Guys, on that note, it's 3:32 here in Dubai, The connection is being recorded. I'll make sure, Sam, this gets out to the channel as well, and I'll cut it into 20 different Dynex related YouTube lives and TikToks and everything else. So it's really out there. But guys, listen, I would love to continue for another 4 hours. Such a fascinating presentation there. Thank you so much, Cliff. And
I'm really glad I could showcase it. Once we have the full GPT running, we're going to come back. I'd love to let you go on it, and you can actually have a go yourself. How about that?
That's incredible. I think
I'm EXP. You can ask it when Arsenal will win Premier League.
I only have one question for the quantum computer. I would just say, when is the bull run?
Now that would be an interesting one. I'd tell it to feed in all the data from Bitcoin since day one and estimate the day or just the month to start with, right? Let's try to be a bit more reasonable to start with. But could you imagine if you could ask it exactly the day when the bull run might start, and boom, it gives you the exact date based on all the data,
all the EMAs. Yeah, that's brilliant.
I mean, that would be amazing, right?
Yeah, just brother Tom, I've seen the project you're talking about, and I'll probably give you an answer on our live stream. I've been your host, hosting Dynex, Koza, my man, the rest of you legends, lots of love. I've got the little one tomorrow morning, so we're going out to Ferrari Wheel here. And,
nice, yes.
Yeah, so she's going to come through my door at 6:30 in the morning, and I'm going to do the
she's going to be excited as anything.
In February in Amsterdam, this GPT will be already.
Yes, I'm bringing it with us, and if I've got the robot ready, I'll be bringing that as well.
Man, I have to come.
Don't worry, you've got a ticket, my friend. Both of you have, and obviously in the Netherlands. So, yeah, absolutely, guys.
It's been
Amsterdam. We're coming.
More legends from we're starting to see the real friends. Thank you. Have fun.
Man, we have to do a live stream together from Amsterdam.
Man. This is brilliant. Cliff has called the entire roster of NWA on us tonight. The entire
wait till everything's shown off in February. I'm probably going to end up with a 3-letter agency on my doorstep for it. But hey, it's worth the time, right?
Let's see if on Monday Cliff is still working for Dynex.
Oh, Mo came up with a banger. Looks like a scam, in my opinion. YouTube is exposing these frauds for AI projects. You know, there's more to come on this subject. Watch our live stream. We were just celebrating quantum computing. Had a brilliant stream, guys. Lots of love. And I really do feel like Koza, just like he did the other night, man. He was lit on fire, had some Heineken. I think you came into that stream, bro. That was fantastic. But thank you, everyone. Thank you to the Dynex team. Thank you, Cliff, as always. Thank you, Koza. See you in the Discord in about 3 hours, man. Guys, do not fade my buy alerts. Otherwise, in a year's time, the portfolio will not be looking that good. So, that's what I need to use quantum computing for, by the way, to find the best moving token.
We could probably code something. I think even Sam's probably got a thought in mind for that one, to be able to find hidden gems using quantum.
And if Sam's watching it, I'll chop that one up as well and add that to the list of clips. Good night, guys. God bless.
Good night. Good night.
Cheers, lads. Good night.